Welcome to Aging Together, a podcast dedicated to exploring the challenges and opportunities of caring for our aging loved ones. This podcast is a product of Caregiver Consulting and Healthy Solutions, a private consulting practice dedicated to helping you navigate the aging process with ease. Together, we will dive into a wide range of topics, including health and wellness, financial planning, caregiving, and more. This podcast is for everyone, whether you are an older adult looking to age in place, a caregiver seeking support and guidance, a young or middle-aged adult planning for the future, or simply someone interested in learning more about the aging process. I hope you'll join me on this journey. Let's navigate aging together. What's up, everyone? I'm your host, Pooja, and you're listening to Aging Together. I've got a bit of a heavy topic for y'all this week. July is National Bereaved Parents Awareness Month, dedicated to a parent's journey following the loss of a child. It is also a time to advocate for and raise awareness of one's life after the loss of a child or children. In this episode, I'm taking a dive into the impact of bereavement on older adults and seniors who experience the loss of a child or children. Throughout this episode, I provide suggestions on what to say and what not to say to grieving parents, as well as strategies for older adults to better address their own needs related to aging and end-of-life care goals. The loss of a child or children can have a profound and long-lasting impact on older adults and seniors. In the acute phase, it comes with a lot of grief, followed by a multitude of other feelings and emotions that may vary from person to person. In the long run, the loss of a child or children can have multiple implications on how an adult ages and lives out the remainder of their life. Here are 5 ways bereavement can affect older adults. 1. Emotional and psychological impact. The death of a child can trigger intense grief, leading to a range of emotional and psychological responses. Older adults may experience feelings of sadness, guilt, anger, depression, anxiety, or even a sense of purposelessness. The loss can disrupt their sense of identity as parents and create a void that is difficult to fill. 2. Physical health effects. The stress and emotional toll of losing a child can have physical ramifications on older adults. They may experience sleep disturbances, changes in appetite, fatigue, a weakened immune function, and an increased risk of developing or exacerbating health conditions such as hypertension, heart disease, or chronic pain. 3. Social and relational impact. Bereaved older adults may find it challenging to maintain or establish social connections, as the loss of a child can lead to isolation and withdrawal. The loss may also strain relationships with surviving family members, including spouses and siblings, particularly if they have difficulty understanding or empathizing with the bereaved parent's grief. Additionally, older adults may fear burdening others with their emotions and choose to grieve privately. Bereaved parents may experience a decline in marital quality and are more likely to divorce compared to non-bereaved parents. 4. Existential impact. Losing a child can shake an older adult's sense of purpose and meaning in life. They may question the order of life, their beliefs, and their own mortality. Coping with the loss and finding new sources of purpose and fulfillment can be a significant challenge for bereaved parents in this stage of life. And 5, complex grief and prolonged mourning. Bereaved parents, especially older adults, may experience what is known as complicated or prolonged grief, where the intensity and duration of their mourning extends beyond what is considered typical. This can interfere with their ability to adapt to daily life and hinder the healing process. It is crucial to recognize and validate the unique impacts of bereavement on older adults and seniors who have lost a child or children. Providing support, resources, and access to grief counseling can help them navigate their grief journey and find ways to cope with the profound loss that they have experienced. It can be very awkward not knowing what you should or shouldn't say or do when attempting to comfort someone experiencing the loss of a child or children in the immediate aftermath. Many times, what you don't say or do is just as important as what you do say or do. Here are some suggestions. 1. Don't say you know how the bereaved parent feels. While you may try to understand how it might feel, unless you've experienced it yourself, you truly do not know how they feel. And even then, your experience and feelings may be very different from theirs. 2. Never say, "It must have been for the best," or "It was God's will." You cannot make sense of loss in these ways. These kinds of statements can make the parents feel like you're minimizing their child's death. Similarly, never say the child is in a better place. This won't provide comfort to grieving parents who are in the worst place they've ever been. Do not try to find something positive in the bereavement experience. That is something the parents may or may not want to do themselves at a later stage. 3. Try not to offer reassurance on things you are not completely certain about, and which may indeed remain uncertain. For example, "I'm sure they'll find an answer," or "You'll feel better by then," or "Everything will be okay." It's okay just to listen or admit that you don't know what to say, and that you are there to offer support. 4. Don't trivialize the parent's story by telling one of your own. This is their time to grieve. Keep the focus on them. 5. If you are assisting with tasks, do not wash any item of clothing or bedding without being asked, as many parents find great comfort from things that still remind them of their child. Unless you are asked, do not pack away any belongings. Never put or throw anything away, as this may be regretted later. Usually, parents will deal with the child's belongings when they are ready for them. This can be an important part of coming to terms with their loss. 6. Don't mention a timeline for grief. Don't talk about the stages of grief. While they are an effective tool used by professionals in counseling, they bring little comfort in acute stages by friends and family members. Grief doesn't follow a timeline or even move linearly through predictable stages. And 7, most importantly, in my personal opinion, don't ask what's next or how the older adult is going to survive without their child. In most cases, the bereaved parent is likely already asking themselves the same questions. This can create further anguish and worsen their already grieving state. It can feel difficult to empathize instead of sympathizing, but it is imperative to help the grieving parent feel heard, seen, and supported. Now that we've walked through a bunch of things that maybe we should avoid, here are some things you can do instead. Parents who have lost a child want to feel supported in their grief. They want permission to grieve in their own way. It is okay not to know what to say, and just being there for them is important. Grieving parents need to feel that their child's life was important. They want to know their child meant something to others who knew and loved them. The bereaved parent will need their friends and family more than ever. Just being there for someone can be more important than any spoken words. Here is some guidance on how to support a loved one who has lost a child. 1. Allow the bereaved parent to express whatever they are feeling, even if the feelings seem intense and frightening. Try not to use any language that may be judgmental. 2. Be available to listen to the parents talk as much and as often as they wish about their child who died. This can be helpful for them. It may be difficult for you to hear, so make sure you seek support for yourself if you think this would be helpful. 3. Bereaved parents often want to talk about their child and be allowed to remember them. Talk freely about the special qualities of their child and do not avoid mentioning the subject. 4. Use the child's name. 5. If the parent seems comforted by photos and keepsakes, suggest that you look at some together. 6. Give special attention to any other children in the family, especially if the parents are too distressed themselves to give them comfort or attend to their individual needs. And 7. Offer to help with practical matters. Necessary calls that may need to be made, shopping, cooking, and other house or family matters that you can help with, but avoid the temptation to take control. Your offers of support, especially at first, may be received without obvious gratitude, or even ungraciously, but try not to let this lead to an end to your contact or friendship. Parents are often very distressed at losing a valued relationship because neither side knew how to react to such a tragedy at first. If you can remain sensitive to a family's changing needs as their bereavement goes on and continue to keep in touch and offer practical help, this will be valuable support. Planning for aging and end-of-life care is complex for anybody, but it's especially more complex for older adults without immediate family. However, it is still crucial for them to make arrangements to ensure their well-being and quality of life. Here are 5 strategies and suggestions for care planning without family. 1. Establish a support network. Even without immediate family, it is important for older adults to establish a support network. Social connections can play a vital role in addressing various needs. Identify friends, neighbors, or community organizations that can provide emotional support, assistance with daily tasks, and help in times of need. 2. Seek out local resources. Research local community programs, senior centers, or government services that offer assistance to older adults. These resources can provide access to social activities, healthcare services, and support networks. 3. Explore housing and long-term care options. Consider housing alternatives such as assisted living communities, continuing care retirement communities, or shared housing arrangements. These options can provide support, social interaction, and assistance with daily activities. Researching and visiting different facilities can help in making informed decisions. 4. Engage in advanced care planning. This involves financial planning, advanced healthcare directives, and documenting end-of-life wishes. Consult with a financial planner or elder law attorney to ensure financial security and establish a plan for managing financial matters in the future. This may include exploring long-term care insurance options, reviewing retirement savings, and addressing estate planning. Create legal documents such as living wills and durable power of attorney for health care. These documents allow individuals to specify their medical treatment preferences and designate someone they trust to make healthcare decisions on their behalf if they become incapacitated. Older adults should consider documenting their end-of-life wishes, including preferences for medical treatment, funeral arrangements, and distribution of assets. This can help ensure that their wishes are respected and carried out. And 5, engage in open communication. Initiate conversations with trusted friends, professionals, or legal advisors about end-of-life preferences, including funeral arrangements, wills, and potential guardianship. It's essential to communicate one's wishes to ensure that they are honored. Remember to consult local laws, regulations, and professionals specializing in elder care and legal matters in your specific country or region to ensure accurate and personalized advice for older adults without family. At Caregiver Consulting and Healthy Solutions, we are dedicated to helping you navigate aging together. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.